What is up, everyone? We are back, and we got another podcast for you, and it is going to be good. Well, I hope it's going to be good. We don't know for sure, but we're going to find out shortly because all this stuff is off the cuff, and we just let it ride. So it's going to be
one time.
Yes, one time. Those one takes are the best. So we have Peter and Tyler Day. They're brothers, if you didn't know by the last name. We also got two Tylers here on the I guess it's going to be on like my screen on my left side because you guys are stacked from what I can see. I don't know if you guys see the same thing. But yeah, so it's going to be a good one. I don't really know much about these guys. I know that they're killers at Facebook. And that's pretty much it, man. Like, and besides that, we're just going to find a little bit more, kind of figure out where they got started and so on and so forth. Oh, yeah. Also, sorry, last but not least, we got Tyler Devin, the man, the myth, somewhat of a legend. We're not sure.
Not so much.
Not so much. He's a dude who works with me.
That's right. And
on these amazing podcasts.
Does my audio sound weird?
No. It's good to us here, yeah.
Yeah, okay, weird. Yeah, actually, just to expand on what Gabe said too, these guys are like Facebook ad pimps. I know because I see the data coming in. They'll generate 2,000-3,000. Like, what's the biggest amount of leads you've generated off Facebook in a day?
Well, probably back when Facebook was a little cheaper, like 2 or 3 years ago, we got like 20,000 leads in a day in certain verticals and stuff. And
wow.
Prices have gone up since then, but lately I think really big Facebook days have been maybe like 12,000, 14,000 leads a day. And that's when we're dealing with these prices because Facebook prices are literally at least like 2 or 3 times more than they were when we started.
Yeah, but still able to make it work, man.
Yeah,
12,000 leads, nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah,
in a day.
In a day, and to make it work, you have to get a little bit more creative in this day and age on Facebook because back in the day, we were able to get leads for like 20 cents and stuff, and now the cheapest leads we can get are like 60 or 80 cents right now, and that's for the cheapest of cheap. So you just have to be really creative and kind of think outside the box to make it work these days because it's definitely been getting more expensive. So.
Crazy. Tyler, I think that light is now screwing your lighting up. The one behind you.
Light?
Not you, Tyler Devin. Other Tyler. Tyler Day.
Not only that, there's only like one bulb.
There you go. Yeah, no, it should work. There you go. You're back on the team.
All right, we're good.
Yep. Lighting. It's important sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes. All right, so who runs the traffic here? So do you guys both run traffic or is someone a traffic pro and someone's more of like back end?
Yeah. So our business is like pretty heavy with like me running the traffic right now.
Yeah.
And we made some adjustments recently. Why don't we talk about those? So up until now, my brother and I were both running the traffic and it definitely worked for us, but we've changed the game up a little bit because we realized that for us to take things to the next level, we need to be getting new offers and new verticals and more exclusive offers like constantly. And if Tyler and I are both so busy running the campaigns, then who's getting the offers? Like who's bringing on those new offers? Who's closing deals? And I think that was actually slowing us down in the past because we were both so busy running the ads that there was no one on the team really acquiring new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an issue because then when a couple campaigns stopped working or whatever it was, then it's like, oh crap, what are we going to run next? So the new focus, and it's starting to explode in the last like 3 weeks. So the new focus is my brother and our team are focused almost 100% on actually just running the ads, doing the media buys. And then I'm bringing on exclusive offers and I'm networking. I'm going to a lot of conferences and I'm kind of the guy right now that's just bringing offers and stuff and deals to the table. And then Tyler and the rest of our team, then they test these offers and figure out what's going to work. And we've seen a huge growth in our business in the last 2 or 3 weeks doing this new strategy of just like making it so I'm getting offers because I've gotten about 3 or 5 exclusive offers for us in the last week or two. And it's like, man, if I was so busy running those ads all day, who would have done that?
Yeah.
Oh man, you have had no time. And one thing I've seen with you guys too is like you guys have brought on more Facebook ad buyers as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we have a team of maybe like 5 Facebook ad buyers, and that just helps us for a few reasons. Number one, when we find a good campaign, we could then have a lot of hands on deck to scale that campaign.
Yeah.
But the second thing it's doing is that every single Facebook buyer on our team is responsible for testing different things. So I always want our people to be testing like at least 1 or 2 new campaigns always. So if you have 5 Facebook guys and each guy is responsible for testing like 2 or 3 brand new things, in a single point of time, you've got like 15 new campaigns that are being tested all at the same time.
Yeah.
Dude, I totally get on with that. Like one thing I found that's just led to success on online marketing is just speed of implementation. How fast can you get through everything out there to find your winners, cut your losers, and scale?
Just comes down to testing, like across the board for anything in this, like test more, you'll find wins.
Yeah.
It's just a numbers game. It really is. Like if you're testing 15 verticals or offers on Facebook, maybe 2 or 3 of them are gonna hit it out of the ballpark. But Facebook is so scalable. All you need is a couple really hot campaigns, and then you scale the heck out of them, and you're making so much money. And so all it takes is a couple campaigns. Even.
Absolutely. Going back, rewinding a little bit, how'd you guys even get into Facebook advertising?
Yeah.
Well, maybe Tyler can touch on that.
So Peter and I started running paid traffic in 2012, mostly on the search engines. Bing was our big traffic source back then.
Oh,
so
cool.
We were literally just running affiliate offers on Bing.
Were you direct linking, or you run to a landing page for?
No, we learned how to build landing pages. We at least got that down, but
nice.
they were probably like so bad. They probably converted like 20% or whatever.
Yeah, 25% opt-in.
But the clicks were so cheap on Bing back then that it just didn't even matter. I mean, we were getting clicks for like nothing,
Yeah.
Also,
Bing is still pretty cheap, to be honest, but we ran into issues just with scalability. So, Bing is like still a good traffic source, but the issue is that if you get a campaign profitable on Bing, it's so hard to actually make a lot of money on it because it's just like really low amount of traffic.
Yeah.
So in 2015, we started messing around with Facebook. We had at that point made some friends in the affiliate space that were just crushing it on Facebook. And, we started to test the waters there and started, I don't know. I mean, we were basically able to just move over the same campaigns that we had running on Bing over to Facebook. And like, since Facebook was a lot cheaper, like it wasn't hard to get good results,
Nice.
And that was before that they were like banning, like there's like more free reign on there. Like you could put whatever you wanted and it was a little bit more easy going.
Yeah. I mean, we've always been white hat, but it's definitely easier to like get stuff approved for sure.
Even white hat these days, man, is a struggle sometimes. It's fine.
I mean, it doesn't even matter. Like anything in any vertical in any niche could get shut down at any time. It's just how it.
Yeah. And then you write it and you get it back. And that's one game that's been frustrating for us lately. It's just the whole, like, you lose an account, then you apply, then you get it back, and then you lose it again. Like, have you guys seen much of that at all?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, in the past 6 months, we've put a lot of effort on just diversifying our ad accounts because of the same problem. So it's like, if we have a campaign running, we'll get it going on a few other accounts, because this happens, and like, it doesn't happen all the time, but it happened maybe like once or twice within the lifespan of a campaign that was running for like 6 months, that some weird thing happened, all the ads got shut down, but instead of, having no traffic, just ramp up like another account or whatever,
Gotcha.
Yeah, always have like a safety account, because maybe one account or 2 accounts are sending all your volume, but you might want 1 or 2 more accounts that are kind of warmed up, that are just ready.
Yeah.
In case your big accounts shut down, you can transition and stuff. So
on that note, like how many accounts do you guys roughly run with or have like in the background just in case?
Like on a single campaign, we have a lot of
or
accounts
across the board, like just for everything, like, because I think a lot of people, so we have a lot of newbie listeners. We also have a lot of advanced people that listen to this too. But what I don't think a lot of people understand is when you get into like the affiliate side of things, you have to have way more backups. With like e-com and stuff, it's pretty relaxed. Like we've had one account for 3 years, 4 years, and it's no issue, right? But once you start dabbling in the affiliate side of things, you got to be prepared because your stuff's going to get shut down. It's just like, it doesn't matter when. You might get it back, you might not, but
I mean, we don't run into like anything too crazy. I think in the past 6 months, we've maybe had like 2 like hard shutdowns where like we haven't gotten the accounts back, but that's not that bad. But we're really diversified. I mean, we're a big fan of diversifying in the business manager level because it was like last year we at that point no one had ever gotten their business manager completely banned. But people were losing ad accounts, and Peter and I luckily had foresight to say, look, I mean, it's just going to be a matter of time before Facebook starts banning accounts at an entire business manager level.
Nice.
So we need to start diversifying our accounts through different people's business managers.
Yeah.
So that's a big focus that we set up in the past year before Facebook even started banning business managers is literally, I think Peter did most of the work on this, but, talking to friends and, that will have never ran ads, will never run ads, get access to their accounts and, who knows if this will work more, but it's working, now.
So that's like originally like more of like a black hat kind of like mentality, but now we're seeing a lot of just anyone who's running on Facebook.
Yeah, but you don't have to do it that aggressively. It's like,
I agree. Yeah.
One backup business manager, like a black hat marketer might have to churn and burn a business manager like every single week with this stuff.
Or day maybe.
Get like
or day,
manager like ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you guys, like, just rewinding back a little bit, when you guys transitioned from Bing to Facebook, did you guys go through any courses or were you just like all self-taught?
Well, courses. No, we've spent, Tyler and I have spent a lot on courses and training. I mean, like over our career, like we've probably spent a good like $150,000 between courses and just personal mentors and training.
Nice.
And that doesn't even include conferences and stuff. So we did take a lot of courses, and we tried to seek out people that would just teach us our Facebook ads. And we paid them like $5,000 to $10,000, and they would show us and different stuff. So we got some personal training from some lead gen guys, and even we paid a guy like $10,000, and he showed us what he was doing on e-commerce for Facebook, but we were able to learn some more Facebook stuff that way. So we've been huge proponents of just paying for training, because it's like some people see that as a big financial loss and stuff, but for us it's actually been part of our business model is what trainings are we going to do this year? What conferences are we going to go to and stuff?
That's cool. Yeah. We're a big fan too, of always learning. And like, even, you might spend $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, but one tip alone can completely transform your business.
Yeah. And especially with conferences or training, it's all it takes is a couple of golden nuggets, and you can make so much with it, especially if you just already have a little bit of experience too.
Yeah, totally. What do you find more value out of, going to conferences or the training?
Oh, at this point, we're getting a lot. All right. It depends on what phase you're in your business. At first, we got almost all of our value just going to different trainings and masterminds and digital courses and stuff. But where we're at in our business right now is we're getting more value out of masterminds right now, just because we can talk to other really high level people and network and stuff. And that's kind of where we're at right now.
That makes sense.
It's kind of difficult these days to get a really high level training in a digital form. Like, so many people are selling courses online, but you buy them and a lot of them are just crap. They sell them for $1,000 or $2,000 and it's the most watered down. Sometimes you really just have to go in person to a mastermind or maybe a personal training to get some real meat and potatoes.
I wonder if they're just trying to appeal to the masses, right, when they're watered down. Because when I think about a course and stuff, if you're going to sell it, there's very few high level courses. But yeah, like most of them are set out for beginners, right? So I don't know.
Yeah,
I wonder.
or the person is making the course like simply just to make a buck, and they're just thinking like,
Yeah.
what are 8 like newbie things that I could just throw into this thing and like make some money?
Yeah.
That's part of the reason we started this podcast, man, was just to talk to guys who like we know or somehow could verify they're actually doing shit on the regular basis, not just have a course they're trying to push. We actually don't have anything that we sell other than just talking to people out there. And then, you know, there's some people that hit us up and be like, hey, could you, you know, tell me more about this guy or that guy? But overall, it was just getting to connected with like real authentic dudes like you guys who are actually doing this on the day to day.
Yeah. What's interesting is, so Tyler and I are actually working on a course behind the scenes. I mean, we won't give much information about it, but it's going to launch by the winter, and it's something we're excited about, but it's still not the core focus of our business. I mean, even when the course launches, I mean, it might earn like 2% of our income for that season or something. It's like what's actually making us the most money right now is doing the business and stuff. But there's other guys out there that simply just make money selling these courses. They're not even doing anything anymore.
Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. All right.
So go ahead.
Sorry. No, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, so going into the season in your business you're in now, you brought on more media buyers.
Yeah.
You're testing more offers. How are you looking to like grow from here at this point? Or is it just more finding more exclusive stuff, or what is it that you're doing?
Yeah. So more hands on deck. Number one is what I've learned is if you want to grow, what we found is you're going to be limited by the amount of people you're running with, because it's like Tyler and I hit a place where when it was only Tyler and I, we hit a place where it was hard to kind of keep growing and growing. We had to bring on at least like 1 or 2 media buyers or 1 or 2 other guys. So it's like our goal with this business, and hopefully we achieve this in at least like 2 to 4 years. We want to get this thing to maybe where it's a team of like 10 to 20 people. So right now we have about 4 or 5 media buyers.
Nice.
But if we can grow this more to the size of 10 to 20, that's going to put us in the range of just operating like a much larger digital agency. Like we'll be able to do like $20-50 million a year in sales and revenue and affiliate commissions online, because we'll have enough hands on deck to be able to actually achieve those numbers. Because you're not going to be able to really do those numbers if you're just a team of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think you're going to need a lot of hands on deck to sustain that.
Yeah, or like a lot of technology and stuff. The guys, anyone I know, I think the biggest guy we knew, what was it? Maybe Chad, Gabe? He did like 47 billion with like a team of like 10.
Yeah.
Mind you, he owned like, you know, some offers in like the rebuild space and like that, you know, so it was a little bit different, and his net wasn't like super crazy. But yeah, that's awesome. When it comes to your team, like, do you have them collaborate a lot together and share their best practices, or like, how do you develop your team to make them better Facebook ad buyers?
What's interesting on the team is that there's no collaboration right now between the team. And the reason why is because different team members are working on different campaigns.
Yeah.
And we also compensate our team members like very healthy. I mean, this has just been our model. It may or may not be our model forever, but right now, if we bring on a really strong media buyer, we'll pay them like 50% of the profits that they actually generate from their campaigns.
Nice.
And we've discussed it like multiple times because it's a significant amount of money to be giving these people, especially when they're using our budget.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've been able to, people have been sticking with us. We've never had someone leave. We've never had someone go behind our backs. We've never had someone just try to like steal the campaigns. We have been compensating the guys pretty fairly, but the reason why there hasn't been that much collaboration between them is because they're working on a lot of different campaigns. So maybe like one guy's doing 2 campaigns, another guy's doing 2 completely different campaigns. But I would like to brainstorm at some point. Maybe there's a way to get everyone or a lot of the team collaborating with each other. Like if we find a campaign that we feel like is infinitely scalable or something. The reason why we haven't had 3 or 4 or 5 media buyers on the same campaign is because they might start competing with each other and start messing it up for each other.
Yeah,
so Tyler, do you test the campaigns out of the gate, or are you guys just giving them all over to these new guys and just letting them run with it?
No, Tyler is like really still heavy in the testing because out of everyone on our team, Tyler is by far still the most talented at running the Facebook ads. So, very like really important campaigns I'll just give to my brother off the bat, and we might not even give those campaigns to some media buyers. But then we have other ones test.
Oh, yeah, cool. I mean, if I like, I don't know, I like the media buyers to be self-sufficient. So it's like we'll find something that looks good on the spy tool, or maybe an affiliate manager hits us up. They're like, hey, can you run this and like give us like an example, like advertorial, whatever. I'll just shoot that over to the media buyer and say, hey, why don't you start working on this? It's going to be really unlikely that I'm going to take a campaign that I built from scratch and just like give it to a media buyer. Like, here's everything, go run it.
Ideally, we want the media buyers to be working hard and finding winning campaigns themselves. Like, we don't see it as a handout. It's not like they're going to join and Tyler's just going to give them like these 6 like $1 million campaigns. Because that's not the point. Those campaigns are already successful. The point of the media buyers is they help us find new campaigns. But then if they're able to get those campaigns successful, then they're eventually really rewarded when they can receive 50% of the profits from that campaign.
Gotcha.
And
then, would you guys do you ever if one's struggling, Tyler, will you ever jump in and kind of be like, hey man, check out this or try that?
Yeah, like all the time. I mean, I'm
constantly
like every day just giving it.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of work training. It's a lot of work training media buyers, because the way that we do it is we are kind of very involved with them, especially in the beginning. But our goal is to get them so good that they're self-sufficient. That's the ultimate goal. But if we bring on a new one, it's almost like we're personally mentoring them, at least for the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. It's some serious, it's like some of these dudes I've been talking to like every day on Skype, back and forth. But I don't think it's going to have to be that way forever. I think 6, 7, 8 months, some of the new guys that we just launched, I think they're going to be fully sufficient. And
for sure.
We have one guy that has become, it took I want to say it took a year, maybe an entire year, but we have one guy that has finally become full out self-sufficient, and he can do $20,000, $30,000 a day now on campaigns.
Nice. What's funny, man? We found the year mark too. When we bring on a new mailer, is like you guys, obviously, I know you, Peter, are very familiar with mailing. It does take time. It takes more time than you would think, but you look back on the year mark where they're at, and they're pretty damn self-sufficient at that point.
Yeah, I would say, the first 6 months, it depends on their skill level coming into it. But what we've found that's funny is even if they come on board with some decent skill level, they're still learning your process. They're still learning how you do things. They're still learning and stuff. So
and
the first 6
months. There's definitely also been media buyers that we just had to let go within the first couple months. It's some guys, it's you can just tell that there's really not much skill there. They're just not really getting anywhere close to being profitable at all or whatever. And
and we want to see, we kind of want to see a lot of creativity with media buyers. We had to kind of let go 2 media buyers within the first month because they wanted to join as media buyers, but then it was hey, what is the ad copy we're going to run? What is the headline? I'm like, no, this is not what we want. Your guys' job, you're supposed to be coming up with the ads. You're supposed to be coming up with you're supposed to have the copywriting skills. So it's I honestly think, Tyler, that when we bring on future media buyers, I'm almost thinking we set up a pre-screening test before even bringing them on, because it's I don't want to have to wait a month and then let go a media buyer just because I found out they weren't very creative at making ads and stuff. So maybe in the future, it's we almost have them go through a bit of a audition process in a sense before even bringing them on. Because what we're looking for is a lot of things, but they have to be good at making their own ads, their own copywriting skills. They can't be like, hey, what should I use for my headline? What should I be using for my image? Because why do we even need them at that point? They're just like bothering us to make their ad for them.
That's one thing we do on the mail side is we have a lot of, we have a full like screening process. And basically, you guys know Rav, right?
Yeah, very like really good mailer. Yeah.
Yeah, he made 5 videos that we basically send to anyone before we personally talk to them. And then they send us, then we give them like a questionnaire and they fill it in and we get them to come up with ad copy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then he gives them a score out of 69 and we only talk to the top ones. Because the same reason, like filter people out front.
I think we need to do that in the future because it's just we've been really good at identifying media buyers that have been bad. So it's not like we've lost too many resources, but honestly, I feel like maybe it's just been a disappointment to the media buyer if we've had to let them go after a month or something. So if we do the pre-screening process, at least the disappointment is not getting it to begin with. And there's no.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it just saves your resources as well. Like your money, your time,
save some,
everything else.
It does save some resources. We lost like a solid $2,000 finding out that these media buyers were not going to cut it. So yeah.
In the scheme of it, that's not a lot though, like
no
for what the good ones will make up for, right? Like you were saying,
Tyler spends $2,000 on breakfast, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, he eats a lot of breakfast. Makes sense, right?
So what you're saying on breakfast? What's that?
You said I spend $2,000 on breakfast?
Yeah.
No.
Get those tomahawk steaks. But and so the direction you guys are building the media team, the Facebook ad buyers, are you guys ever thinking about even branching off of Facebook, or are you guys just going to dial in and focus harder on Facebook? Where you're at there?
I think we're trying to double down, man. I mean, things are hot right now. Like, there's still a lot of money being made. I mean, I think it could be years and, at least a couple, like a good 2 years before Facebook is like too overpriced or whatever. But I mean, as of right now, we're still getting really good results and, things are still, very good. So we're just trying to double down. We're trying to just do as much as we possibly can on Facebook right now.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean,
so what's your main focus on Facebook in today? And I don't want you to give away your offers or anything like that, but what do you guys sort of specialize in, and what have you seen in that industry?
Yeah, so our specialty,
or niche, I should say, not industry.
Yeah, so our niche is promoting white hat lead generation offers.
Yeah.
And that's our bread and butter. So we've seen a lot of changes, a lot of campaigns go up and down over the years. I would say probably the trend for us is we've just had to become better marketers to make things work. I remember in 2015 when we started on Facebook, we might have made one funnel, made 2 or 3 different images, and it just profited right away.
Yeah.
Now it's I had one landing page that last month that I built 25 variations of.
Wow.
And probably launched 40 different image ads.
Yeah.
So I'm in the same point right now. We're dabbling in some native stuff, and it's exciting for you to hear that, because out of those 25 landing pages, what would you say was the biggest change maker in terms of your conversions and your CTR on that LP?
Yeah. So we put a heat map on the page, and we noticed that there was one specific call to action button above the fold that was getting probably about 60% of all the clicks on the page.
Nice.
Wow.
So we just I just started making, it was basically where it was on the page, it was a headline, and then right under that headline, there was a button basically.
Yeah. And that was the major thing.
And there was a lot of content underneath that and stuff, obviously, but we found that most of the traffic was just coming through there. So, I basically just started split testing a couple pages a day of just different headlines and different call to action buttons and just different ways to format it and stuff.
Yeah.
And the original click-through rate of the page was 40%. And, basically after the 25 different tests, I was able to get that up to 65%.
Wow.
So that's a pretty big improvement. I don't know what that is percentage wise, but it definitely changes the way things would profit on that for sure.
Do you use
That's
any
cool.
tools to do stuff like that? Like, so I know you do the heat map stuff, which what is there? Crazy Egg, Jam Jar, or no,
Yeah.
not Jam Jar.
Hotjar.
Hot Jar.
So-
Hot Jar.
Yeah,
Jam
so
jar.
we're building a lot
That's
of
a
our
restaurant
pages in Unbounce right now.
Yeah.
And Unbounce has really good A/B testing functionality.
Yeah.
So you can pretty much just like rotate different pages within the same exact domain. You can easily just like clone and allocate what percentage you want to go to each page
Nice.
Mhm.
and move them up and down in the order as far as where things are going. If you're not using Unbounce, we have some pages that are hard coded
Yeah.
where you can't just do that. We've been using a tool called VWO, Visual
Yes.
Website Optimizer,
Yes.
to use. It has a lot of functionality. You can do heat maps on it. And you can also do just like rapid multivariate testing, A/B testing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really, really good tool to use.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's VWO. That's Neil Patel's, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a pretty big. It could be his. It seems kind of like a big mainstream tool, though. Not to say that he's not mainstream, but I don't know. It's not like I see him on the front of it or anything.
Yeah. Let me. I gotta look it up because I met him one time and I think he said VWO. But anyway, so split. Where, like, when it comes to you building your funnels, where do you guys see the most bang for buck? Is it on the ad side? Is it optimizing the landing pages? Where do you find
It depends. I mean, the landing pages always need some sort of optimization. I mean, you can't just make a landing page and launch it and just expect it to be perfect and never have to change anything. It's just not realistic. So the landing page is always going to need to be improved, and there's always going to be room for improvement on the landing page.
Yeah.
So the landing page is a big focus. I mean, like Facebook costs are what they are, but a landing page is a variable that you can control. So, a landing page optimization is a big focus for sure. But I would say it's pretty much equal. Like you want to focus just as much on testing the Facebook side of things too.
Gotcha.
But the most important thing is the offer. I mean,
whatever offer you're promoting needs to like work.
Yeah, we're just talking like funnel side on the ads and such.
Yeah.
We started getting into the like Gabe said, the native stuff now, just because of some of the inconsistencies with Facebook accounts going down, etc. And like a lot of friends we have in the native space, and we're seeing like just even like spying manually on like MSN.com, seeing all the different variations of the ads and landing pages guys use. Where like even traditionally, like most of Gabe's experience has been on doing e-com products on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Where like how much did you even put in, Gabe, into like no testing on landing pages, literally running straight to the offer?
Yeah.
Like the ads were probably the same copy every time, just let Facebook pixel do the work.
Pretty
like,
much, right?
Much different game, right?
It is. And it's like it kind of like makes you lazy on some levels, because it's a different process. But getting into the native stuff, it's just like, oh yeah, I remember doing this. I remember split testing all this stuff before. And I like it, man. It's just like, it just forces me to be a better marketer, which I enjoy. So,
yeah.
So we want to get into the native, but we know it's a learning curve. And I guess we're focusing on Facebook for now, just because we might as well kind of strike it.
Yeah.
But there's such an opportunity.
Window.
Yeah, I think Facebook is going to be a home run for the next like 1 to 3 years because the prices are a little bit higher than the past, but they're not out of control high prices. So we're just trying to rock Facebook as long as we can. And I think we can always rock Facebook, but what it might boil down to is in like 3, 4, 5, 6 years, if the prices become so premium, the guys that are winning on Facebook are going to have the exclusive offers. They're going to maybe own their own offer. It's no longer.
Also, I want to throw out, a shameless plug, but we are looking to branch out on native specifically, through a media buyer. So if anyone watching this has, excels in media buying on native ads and, wants to test some campaigns with us on native, we're definitely looking for a media buyer, to run existing campaigns that we have on native ads.
We know a guy.
Well, maybe refer him to us. Yeah, we'll give him a healthy commission. We're thinking of basically transferring some funnels from Facebook to native ads and expand that way. So,
what's the best way to get a hold of you guys if someone listening is like wanting to jump on that?
Well, they can visit our site. So we have a website, optimizetoconvert.com.
Yeah.
And it's a blog, and then go to the contact page on there. And we have an email address that they can just email us. So it's optimizetoconvert@gmail.com.
Okay. I'll drop a link below. You guys will have to put that in the chat for me so I can do that after we do this. Awesome. That's cool. All right. Tyler.
I was just actually looking up the site Optimized to Convert. So as far as I agree with you. I think as Facebook, I think Facebook's always going to be a great traffic source, but I think how it's leveraged is going to change. And I agree with what you're saying. I think people who own their own offers, or kind of I know you guys do a little bit, obviously, people who have a back end.
Yes.
I know it was kind of like a biz op offer you guys were running with. It wasn't really a biz op offer. I don't want to go into it too much because obviously it's your campaign. But he had a back end, guys like that. Those are the guys I think they're going to stick around long term.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Back end stuff. Yeah. You need to have good back end and then good offer itself. Sometimes you might need a little bit more of a direct offer these days, even to make it work. Like just going on the network and getting the lower pay might not even work for some offers these days. Sometimes you need really juicy offers and then really good back end.
Yeah. I mean, just even, doing affiliate stuff, just incorporating something as simple as building an email list can just make a massive difference. It really has for us in the past, but Facebook can be so up and down. I mean, there might be days where you're making crazy money on the front end. There might be days where you have to shut off all your ads, but if you have an email list that you can, make money from consistently every day, well, that pretty much changes the game,
Oh yeah. It definitely adds a whole new dynamic.
Yeah. That's something I want to ask you about because you, and I'm just gathering this from what you're saying, is you turn off your ads on certain days, then you'll relaunch them the next?
Well, we've had to do that for the past on certain campaigns that have just been touch and go. Ideally, that's not what we do. I mean, there's other ones that we don't really touch at all.
Yeah.
For some reason, some campaigns are just more swingy than others. It's just, maybe it's
if you're having a bad morning, you'll pause everything.
Yeah. I mean, there's one specific campaign that we're running right now that's like a pretty low margin. It's like so it could be there's a lot of traffic. It could be very high volume. So for example, on a really good day, we could spend, 20,000 on Facebook that day and make, 25 back and make like $5,000 profit. But there's also other days where it's looking like we might lose $5,000 or something.
Yeah.
So if we just wake up in the morning and the prices are just absurd, you can usually tell by right when you're on the computer by 9 a.m. how things are looking for that day and, make a decision from there. But other campaigns that have a healthier margin, I would suggest just running because the stop and go does mess things up on Facebook, but some campaigns you just don't have a choice. I mean, when it comes down to either losing a full $5,000 or just shutting off the ads for that day, you're better off just pausing.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's one thing. We have one campaign that Gabe's running right now where they don't want to take weekend traffic.
Yeah.
And so usually Mondays kind of suck because we just fired up the ads. They're doing their thing, game dialed in. And so we've seen some up and down and we haven't, we're not collecting a lead or anything off that. We're literally just sending direct to the offer,
Yeah. So it's a tough play. And it's sometimes it almost takes to Wednesday to get its legs under it again. So it's almost not even worth it on some level because it's just a constant battle at the start of the week and hoping that you're pulling good volume on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just to pause, So
yeah. No, we've ran into that before too. I mean, have you ever tried doing the lifetime budget ads where you pick what days it runs and whatnot?
I haven't on this campaign. I have in the past. But yeah, so you just set up proper day parting in Facebook itself. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't run any right now because I don't know. It hasn't really worked that well for us, but
yeah.
I was just curious because with the lifetime budget ads, you can just select what days and what hours you want things to run pretty much on a schedule.
I'll try that again. I haven't tried that for a long time, and I'll test it out and see what happens with it. So
Yeah.
thank you. Thanks for that. It's funny, man. We get in our own heads. Like we just like, nah, I forgot about that. Haven't tried it, you know?
Yeah, I haven't tried it in a while, but I didn't get too bad results with it. I can't remember any like specific numbers, but
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's
Are you
cool.
guys, I know you guys were talking about doing some agency stuff too. Are you guys still going down that road?
Yeah, it depends on how you define as agency. I mean, I guess typically the agency just runs the ads for some kind of commission on how much is being spent, like a 20% commission. We're still open to doing that, but we've been making a lot of money just approaching stuff from a CPA level as well. So what we've been doing is we've just been approaching people that I guess could be agency, but sometimes we just work out a CPA price and it's like we profit that way. So we kind of consider ourselves an agency, but I guess it boils down to how you're defining running these campaigns as an agency. Are you just going for a CPA, or are you just going to take 20% of the spend you do for them?
I guess I was thinking more along the lines of like someone has a great product, or like, you know, they have a business, but they don't know how to generate leads on Facebook. So you guys basically handle their entire Facebook campaign for them.
Yeah, we've definitely done that. We've done
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's been a big part of our business in the past 6 months, have just been working directly with people that own brands and own actual companies. Just basically just being affiliates for them, but just being the only people that run their ads. Like they may not run ads themselves, you know?
Yeah. Get exclusivity on it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
How was that process for you? Cause like, were they aware of online traffic before and kind of how it worked? Or was it kind of like a learning curve in the sense that you had to teach them, like, this is what we're going to do. Be prepared for this many leads. Like,
well, I guess like one client that we were working with specifically, I don't know. We met him. We were giving him some help, like on email stuff. Like we were consulting with him. He was like getting email data in. We were giving him some tips on that. And we found out that he was just kind of a one-man show and was just doing all his own stuff. So he was having some luck on Facebook. That's where all the leads were coming from. And we were just kind of like, hey, why don't we do this for you? And he was just like, go for it.
Nice.
So you were lucky enough that he was aware of how it worked. You didn't really have to
but
babysit.
I would say like that's kind of like a criteria that we would have to even take on a client like that, because I don't know. I mean, we have so much on our plates. Like we would ideally only be interested in taking on a client like that on the agency side if their business model had some sort of track record with paid traffic. I mean, we don't want to be reinventing the wheel as far as like building out their entire business and back end to like support a paid traffic model of business. I mean,
it's a lot of work.
You have to already have like small scale success on Facebook, or like a different traffic source, or just have like a very big potential for it to like profit, you know?
Yeah.
How did that client work out? Like, where was he when he first started, and then where were you guys able to take him?
I don't know. Do you want to talk a bit about that, Peter?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good campaign. It didn't last too long because the profit margin wasn't very high, so we just kind of like saturated it. But no, he was already like reasonably successful. He was doing like $30,000 a month, and we helped him bring it to over 100.
That's a big jump, though. That's huge.
Yeah, we helped him jump it up to like 100,000 to 200,000 a month, like almost immediately, just because we had more skills. And if we have an agency client that has a lot of potential, like they have a really good offer or a really good profiting thing, we even can throw in our own money into it. So the biggest hurdle this guy had to scale was just finances. Like he was spending like $800 a day and making like $1,000 back. So that's how he was making the 30,000. He wasn't even making $30,000 a month of profit. He was like spending 800 a day and making 1,000 a day back. So his revenue was 30K a month, and he was making whatever 6,000 a month of that was profit. So Tyler and I spotted the opportunity, and we said, hey dude, like what if we just start spending like $25,000 a day on this thing? Like, you're going to make so much money. It's ridiculous. So it's like, that's another opportunity as well with agency customers, is that there's a lot of people out there that actually have a really good profiting product, but they might only have like $200 a day.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you can just maybe work out a deal where, hey, you know, maybe you're going to pay me 60%. We're going to give you more like 40. I know it's not conventional, but I'll spend all the money on it. That could take it maybe to a level that they would never have gotten to without that. So that was the instance in this case, was that the guy was already getting some success on Facebook. It was profitable to some extent, but he was just operating on such a low budget. We just saw the opportunity and we're like, okay, if we just do a little better of Facebook ads and just throw a lot more money at it, we'll just outperform anything he's ever tried to do. So
nice. That's awesome.
That's so
Were
cool.
you guys able to increase his profit margin at all?
We tried, but it was really difficult because we didn't have really any control in his business. Like, we were just operating as an ad agency.
Gotcha.
And he was not very open for us to make like any kind of changes like on his business. So our hands were tied in a little bit, where we were trying to make some suggestions like, hey, why don't you implement this? But at the end of the day, he wasn't that open. Sometimes he was not that open to change, and he wasn't really letting us influence that much and stuff. So yeah, but we probably could have helped to take it to the next level had it been more flexible in that manner. But we promoted it for as long as we could. And then what happened was the profit margin kind of like disappeared because the profit margin wasn't too high to begin with.
Gotcha.
And then
that blows my mind. Like, I think about a guy like that who at the front end, like, you know, I know people that run campaigns, like Agora is a perfect example. You know, they'll spend $90 to sell a $10 ebook. Because they have such a back end. Imagine a guy who breaks even on the front end. If he has just more of a back end, man, he'd be making money hand over fist.
Yeah, and you can do a back end by emailing it and giving it to rev share partners for email, or selling the data. There's a lot of ways to have a good back end. I think
Some
that brings
people
up
don't understand it.
I think it brings up another good point too. If so, for you guys that are listening, if you're running a campaign and that campaign is actually breaking even, or there's like a 10 or 20% loss, that's probably a campaign that you can definitely get profitable. Because Tyler and I almost made this mistake, because we had this campaign really recently that we were struggling with for like a month or two, and we were losing 10 to 20% a day on it. And then Tyler just happened to actually test a different funnel a little bit and a little bit of a different image on Facebook. And now all of a sudden it's like a 30% profit margin. And we never expected that to happen. Tyler just kind of he just tweaked the funnel a little bit. He just happened to test this new image ad, and it's like, now it's really profitable and we're ramping it up. So, and we were literally like 5 minutes away from just giving up on it, because we had been getting a 10 to 20% loss for like months. And we're like, man, I just don't know if this can profit. And so I think the lesson learned is, if your campaigns are at break even or a little bit of loss, like 10 to 20%, I'm sure there's a way to somehow just get that profitable. Maybe a better back end, better ads. Maybe you need to get a pay bump on the offer. There's got to be something to just do it over.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's actually one thing we did recently. Me and Gabe were looking at some offers he was running on Facebook, and we went back to the network. We're like, hey, can we get a payout bump? And they gave us like another $6 a sale. Yeah. Which honestly can go a long way.
Oh yeah. It's going to take the campaign from being like break even to profitable just from $6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty badass.
Yeah.
So as far as like, so you focus a lot on lead gen, white hat. Ultimately, is there a future you guys foresee where you're going to have some of your own offers?
Yeah, if we do have some of our own offers, it will be very private though, because we are concerned about, the compliance of like a mainstream offer. We've just heard so many circumstances where someone builds an offer and then the affiliates promote it in like a really dirty way, and then like everyone is getting sued and stuff.
Yeah, I've
So
heard
it's
about
like
that too.
we're
Yeah.
definitely interested in owning an offer, but if we do that, we'll definitely be pushing it ourselves internally, of course, and then we might have like a really small affiliate network, maybe like 10 or 15 affiliates at the most or something, but they would all have to be all super affiliates and really above board, and just we would definitely have to know they're promoting clean stuff, so we're not going to just get in trouble.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it's a possibility in the future.
Possibility,
You might
but
get the call one day, Gabe.
Woo.
yeah, I mean, so what we would do is if we made an offer, we would start promoting it just ourselves internally. So we would push it on Facebook and email and all the channels we could. And then if it was really successful, we would start with probably under 10 super affiliates. Like the affiliates would have to be able to do like well over even like 5,000 a day each. I mean, we would literally just entertain like just probably under 15 super affiliates. And and we would just make sure that they're promoting stuff with clean creatives. Like if it's email, it's got to be clean creatives. If it's native, we can't be doing, like false claims and stuff. But I think it's definitely something we're open to doing. And actually, I think it could make a lot of money with like 10 or 15 super affiliates. Because imagine if every super affiliate is doing like $10,000 a day. I mean,
you already got a super affiliate, Tyler, right there. He's ready to go. Not you, Tyler, other Tyler.
Yeah, right. Tyler Day.
2 Tylers. We got 2 super affiliates named Tyler here.
Double Tyler, double wins.
Woo!
What's
fantastic little Thursday?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, question for you guys: got people looking to get online to begin with, just starting out. What kind of opportunities do you see in the marketplace right now that you'd have them take a look at?
I definitely would. I would just suggest people to maybe avoid the whole drop shipping model for now. Definitely avoid getting into black hat stuff for Facebook specifically. Drop shippers are having a really hard time right now because of Facebook's new feature for requesting feedback from customers.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's just not getting any easier for the drop shipping people, and it's becoming more and more unstable. And obviously Facebook's not liking any of the dirty, black hat stuff, the cloaking. I would definitely suggest staying away from any of that if you're new or just in general. I would probably just suggest to do what we do, and that's just find, good, clean, CPA offers that you can run and build, legitimate websites. And, a big thing that we've started doing in the past 6 months is building brands around our lead gen.
Nice.
So I don't know, I'm just making this up, but let's say like
that's fine, man.
a pet CPA offer, it was like something like that. We would just build like a branded fan page, like, Pet Center USA or something, have that.
I should buy that right now.
Put the logo on, the fan page, even mail from the brand name. So there's just complete congruency. And this is going to help too with Facebook because Facebook's well aware of the whole, affiliate model. But if you have, they don't like it, but if you can have just a completely branded thing from like start to finish, like your fan page name is Pet Center USA, your logo is Pet Center USA, your domain is Pet Center USA, you're mailing from Pet Center USA. It makes it look like you're an actual company and not just some affiliate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, far more congruent.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess that's what I would focus on would be like branded lead gen campaigns, and that's what Peter and I are doing. So
nice.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend.
And would you recommend they stay on Facebook as a platform, or start looking at Instagram, or even like get into, it's funny. I feel like there's always like these flows, like everyone's like, okay, Facebook. The next one I see is native. One that no one's talking about right now really is Google too much.
Oh, I thought you were going to drop fucking WhatsApp again.
No. That's for the old back pocket, Gabe.
Oh.
I don't know. I think Facebook is good for people that are new because compared to something like native ads, you can test with a lot of a smaller budget.
Yeah.
the biggest barrier to entry to becoming profitable on native ads is the amount of money that it costs to test on native ads. Most people that I know that are successful spend $10,000 to $20,000 before they become profitable. And for somebody that's new, that's just not going to be viable.
Yeah.
So
I've actually heard similar numbers.
Yeah. I mean, for Facebook, I test really low budget personally. So I could, I might only lose $1,000 like lifetime before a campaign becomes profitable, but on native, that's just no way you're going to do it that quickly,
And then even when you lose that $1,000, you probably got some sales in there.
Yeah. So like it would be, like I spent 10,000 on ads and only earned back like 9,000 or something,
Yeah.
But if something's like really bombing, I'll be pretty quick to just like move to something else. And that's the best part of being an affiliate is that it's very mercurial, meaning you can just flow from one thing to another very easily. So we've had campaigns that have been hot and we've slammed them for like 60, 90 days. Then they stop becoming profitable and we just ramp something else in a completely different vertical up, without having to, let anybody go or like start an entirely new company or do anything like us like that,
Totally.
So that's one of the biggest like perks of being an affiliate is just having that that fluid,
flexibility. You can be very agile.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Sorry guys, I had to make an Instagram post to say we're doing a podcast on 7 Fig here. So I'm not like texting people surfing Instagram. I'm doing stuff. So
yeah.
Peter, what would you say? What would you tell people like just starting out?
Just starting out. Well, it's definitely there's a process when you're just starting out, because when you're just starting out, you're looking at the forums and you're watching trainings like this and stuff. Yeah, I mean, when just starting out, maybe my biggest suggestion is you guys need to maybe they need to get like a personal coaching or find a mentor or go to like a really good mastermind that will give them a breakthrough. Or I know Tyler and I had a breakthrough when we first started out. We spent like $2,500 and we got a course that probably no longer exists anymore, but the course taught you how to do ads on Bing, blogging, Facebook, and like something else.
Whose
SEO.
course was this?
This course was from I don't remember the people. I want to say it was like the SEO Brothers or something. It was like
it sounds like a course.
Yeah.
Is that what your guys' course is going to be called? The Facebook Brothers?
No, they do call us the Day Brothers, though, for sure.
Yeah.
I call you guys the Days. That's how me and Romano refer to you.
Yeah. Do you guys have? Sorry to cut you off, man. But do you guys have any courses that you would like recommend to our listeners right now that have
like
you done?
current courses?
Courses or masterminds that you've been to that you could see a lot of value in for both
so
you and the beginner.
All right, so the Tim Bird Mastermind is obviously $6,000. So if the newbie can afford to swing that, you'll definitely learn a lot about Facebook ads.
I think he's doing replays now, though. I think you can do a replay for like $2,700.
Yeah,
nice.
A lot of guys have been buying replays. Tyler and I went to Charles No Mastermind.
Did you guys teach there?
Yeah, we ended up teaching there. So we went there as students in November, and we paid a lot of money because the mastermind was $12,000, and Tyler and I both we paid like the $25,000 to take both of us to this thing.
Nice.
And we just went there, and we definitely got a lot of high level value, and it's a pretty serious mastermind. It's like the guy teaches like all day. It was like literally 9 a.m. to like 9 p.m, and he's like on stage. He's on stage like teaching the entire.
Charles did that?
Yeah, Charles did that. And then he has a guest speaker that will speak like a little bit. So we went to the mastermind, and then I guess at the mastermind we were talking to Charles and his assistant, and they recognized that we were a little bit more experienced. So what happened was they reached out and they wanted us to be the guest speakers. So we ended up doing a gig at the next mastermind. So we just finished up speaking at his mastermind in New York City.
That's cool.
In April, and that was a really good experience.
So, okay, cool. So Tim Bird, he's got Facebook ad buyer groups on Facebook, which is a great group to join if you want to learn.
We're
And
part of that.
he has the $6,000 masterminds, but you can get
Yeah.
replays for like 3,000.
Yeah. And then Charles No, he's been around. He's been in this game forever.
Yeah. What's his program called? Accelerator or something like that?
It's like AFF Accelerator. He's not doing anything right now, but we've been in touch with him, and he's definitely going to have some stuff releasing by like January.
Nice.
Cool.
Either some courses or in-person conferences. He'll have something by the end of the year. So
Nice.
Cool.
That's awesome.
If you guys did a course, would you guys do an in-person thing, or would it just be like an online training?
We definitely want to do in-person at some point. I don't know how we would approach it, but maybe we would do online courses at first until we had a large enough of a following to do in-person, because it's like Tyler and I have had so much experience just doing this industry and stuff, but we haven't made a course yet, and we haven't put ourselves out there like Charles No or Tim Bird or Ty Lopez or one of those guys. So it's like, hey, we would do a mastermind, tomorrow if I had 60 people that were going to pay $10K. But it's like, at this point, Tyler and I have been a little bit behind the scenes. Like, we haven't been celebrities in the space. So it's something that we'd like to do, the in-person masterminds, and I'm sure it will happen. It's just the audience obviously needs to be there.
We'll get you on a 7-figure mastermind here, and you guys can be the leading guests there.
Yeah. You're selling. Wait. You're selling a 7-figure mastermind?
No, we're not. We joke about it. And I imagine like a good upsell would be like breakfast with Tyler. You get to watch him eat his tomahawk steak.
Breakfast with Tyler, like
the Don Cesar in Florida, like you did.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was a good little breakfast over there.
That was a crazy hotel, man. That was fun.
Yeah, man. I remember it was pouring rain that day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like torrential. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Florida.
It's actually like that today earlier. I don't know if you guys could hear the lightning behind me, but it's been going off lately.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
It's rainy season, right?
We can't really hear it though in this.
No, that's good. No. That's cool though. That's cool. You guys looking to go down the train road. Like again, I can vouch. I've personally seen the leads come through, so I know you guys definitely send a shit ton of traffic.
The real deal, right here, guys. Live.
I know a lot of affiliate managers have. They're like, the days. Tyler and Peter.
That online street cred.
Yeah, we've just been hustling because it's like this industry has definitely not been the easiest industry, but it's like the best industry once you nail it, because you don't have to show up to a job, you don't have a boss, you can make more money than like any job for the most part, except like maybe some like super high level finance stuff. But even then you can probably exceed that. And it's like, it's the best thing when you nail it, but it definitely was pretty hard to nail it. I mean, Tyler and I failed for like, at least we failed for 1 or 2 years, like straight up failed, like didn't make any money. And we were at the stage where a lot of newbies are probably watching this podcast, where it's like, you spent like $3,000 for the Tim Bird, you like went to this conference for $5,000. It's just lost. But the thing is, we've been around a lot of people who've been, trying to make it happen. And what we've seen is like the guys that have actually stuck this out and really given it a shot for like 2, 4, 6 years. A lot of these guys end up being really successful. The ones that we see fail maybe just get discouraged after a year or two of fail. But we know some dudes that have been just hacking away at just trying to get this stuff to work.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll reconnect with them and they'll just be crushing it on different stuff. So it's like, I just feel like if these guys that are watching, it's just really a matter of time until they're going to have their breakthrough, I really think. So
yeah, I would agree, man. One thing I always think about, it's like, you'll go to, you'll graduate high school, you go to college with like, you don't really know what you want to do, but you're willing to invest tens of thousands of dollars and 4 years of your life for a potential job, where a lot of people, they get started on the online space, 3 months in, they spent a few $100 and they give up. It's like, well, how come you're willing to spend so much over here, but you're not willing to spend anything on your own business? Mm-hmm. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I mean, this is not even a pitch for like training, because it's like we talked about, like we
for sure.
Yeah, we don't even have a course right now. Like we're not even selling stuff here, but it's like just us talking. buying courses, buying personal training, and buying coaching is a huge part of your success. Like, I was talking to my brother the other month, and it's like, dude, in 2019, like, maybe we can spend like $50,000 or $60,000 going to masterminds. Like, we're trying to actually put it in our budget. We're like, maybe we can go to like 6 masterminds next year, and
one every 2 months.
Yeah. That's exciting too. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we've been trying to, because it's like the ROI that you can get off of mastermind. Because what is it? Maybe you meet someone that has like an offer that you can promote, or maybe you just get that one golden nugget, or maybe you learn about like a software or a tool that, you know, people were using that you never knew about it.
Yeah.
And the relationships that come from it, man, even just like on a friendship level, you know, like you meet some really cool dudes, really cool people at these events.
Yeah. I mean, we met Tyler at a conference. We met you.
Yeah, that's where we met Tyler Devin originally. We were going out to dinner with a network, and Tyler, that was in Vegas at Affiliate Summit West, I guess kind of recently in like January or something.
Yeah, that was this year. It feels way longer than that, I guess, because
it feels much, I guess, because we've done so much in the last like 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where we met Tyler Devin, was at Affiliate Summit West in Vegas. We got introduced to him just because we were having dinner with a network, and it's like,
and what was funny was like we didn't even talk for like 2 months, but then we just randomly, you know, kind of reconnected like months after the conference.
Because it's like when you meet these people at conferences, you figure out what their skills are. Like Tyler Devin's super good at emailing. He's like the king of email. And then
appreciate that.
Gabe is super good at Facebook, and then also starting native ads. So it's like when you go to these conferences, you just take mental notes, like, okay, like these guys are really good at this, these guys are really good at that. And then it's like you can reconnect with these dudes later. And that's where we've gotten a lot of our media buyers too, is
oh, nice.
I don't suggest, by the way, waiting to talk to somebody until 2 months after you.
No, that's not.
That's a good point.
We just ran into some very specific email problems, and Tyler was the first person, you know, that came to mind.
Yeah, we needed some email. We ran into some email delivery issues, and Tyler and his team was able to really assist us to help us like get it back on track with our email and stuff.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, it's funny. I remember that dinner, man. I was with Jeff, and he's like, "Hey, let's go to dinner." We show up, and you're sitting there with Matt. I was like, "Oh shit, am I even supposed to be in here at this moment?" But I'm glad I did, because it worked out so well.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
You
just never know who you're going to meet at these events, and I think definitely a mistake for some newbie affiliates is they're just kind of sitting in their room or in their office, and it's like they're a little island, and what they need to do is go to these conferences, and they need to get a team of people. And it's like, even though a team doesn't have to be like your employees, is like, I consider Tyler, Devin, and Gabe like kind of part of our team. They're part of our circle. It's like, if we have maybe a native question, we can talk to Gabe about it. But it's like, what is the newbie supposed to do if they're just sitting at home? They don't know anyone. It's like, how are they going to put heads together and figure out native ads? It's just going to be.
It's a big relationship game, right? Like, and it's all about who you know in this. And then you also have to put the work in too, but it helps knowing a lot of people in this industry, right? So
I think also it's like the affiliate space sort of attracts people that are naturally more introverted, because it takes a certain personality to be able to sit alone behind your computer all day and work by yourself like that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like a majority of the people that are in the affiliate marketing space are slightly more on the introverted side. So it's not natural for them to want to, you know, go travel every other month to an event and go and talk to people for like 18 hours a day and network like that.
Yeah. It pulls you out of your shell for sure. Even me, like, I'm a pretty chatty dude, but like sometimes I'll just like head down, like I got shit to do, like I don't care to talk to people. But
was fun. There was this one conference, like I was trying so hard to like close this deal, because like this guy had these really cool e-commerce offers, and I really wanted to promote them, like agency. And like, I was trying so hard to close this deal. Like, I was literally up until 4 a.m. talking to this dude in like the hotel lobby. And like, and Tyler went to bed at like midnight, and I come in and it's like 4 a.m. He's like, dude, are you serious? Like,
It's like, dude, you know, we gotta be up at like 7,
I needed to get the deal done. And then we ended up
whatever it takes.
Yeah, we ended up closing the deal, and it's like, man, so sometimes we've definitely done some brutal things like that, but it's like just kind of part of the hustle sometimes.
For sure.
Yeah.
I know Peter's always telling me about the deals he's working on. I'm always like, man, that's awesome.
Yeah. Shit, that's cool, man. That's cool. Well, guys, we're getting close. I think we're at past an hour here, give or take. You guys got anything else you want to say? Any tips for the listeners or the viewers? Or
I'd also like to go over how people can best get in touch with you guys as well. If they're interested in helping on the native side, or maybe they're their Facebook ad buyer and they're looking to they got some skills, but maybe they might be a great member to your team. Like, what's the best way people can reach you?
Definitely our website. So it's www.optimizetoconvert.com.
Yeah.
And
contact page.
Yeah, there's a contact page on the website.
Yeah.
There's also just an email address, optimizetoconvert@gmail.
Yeah, there's also going to be a form. So what I'm going to be doing after this call is we're going to put together a little survey form that just kind of will ask you like how you're looking to work with us, like just like if you have a general question.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And so we'll have this Woofu form set up so they can reach out via the contact page, email, or actually just submit this form, and we'll be monitoring that. So
perfect.
Cool. That's awesome, guys. I really appreciate your time. It's been fun. It's been cool to hear your story.
Yeah.
It's good to hear some real deal Facebook dudes on here also.
Totally.
Yeah, man.
Actually,
thanks for having us on.
Anytime,
Absolutely.
man. Yeah, anytime. Have yourselves a great little Thursday. And for everyone else out there, subscribe, do all that stuff, click, share. Give us that online love, because we need it. We love online love. We love it. Any affection is good affection, right, Tyler?
You know it.
I don't know.
Like, was it any press is good press?
Yeah. I don't know about that one.
yeah.
But who knows? We'll worry about that when we get there.
Hey,
Anyway.
work for Kim Kardashian.
Yes. From porno to millions in no time.
Right? Awesome. Well, thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it, boys.
Yeah.
Talk soon, guys. Thank you.
Bye.